We're back today to talk about selecting a fiscal sponsor. If you joined us in our first video, we talked about how to think about the idea of forming a nonprofit. Today, we're going to talk about what are some options that you can take when you're ready to take the next leap, which is to start collecting money. Because you can't continue to work without some sort of funding to support the work, whether it's for salary, supporting programming, and other needs that you have for your organization. There's many different ways to go. Today, we're going to focus on fiscal sponsorship. I'm LaDon Love of Spaces in Action. Let's talk about fiscal sponsorship. We currently have a fiscal sponsor called Fusion Group or Fusion Partnership. They are great because they handle our administrative work, which means our back end, our employees, personnel policies, insurance, helping us to make sure that we're managing the monies that are coming in and going out, making sure that we have all of the documents that we need in order to receive donations and money from foundations or corporations and any type of contracts that we may have. Now, why is that important? You cannot collect money for your nonprofit if you do not have a C3 or a fiscal sponsor in order to ensure that the people who give you donations over a certain amount will be able to do it as a tax write-off. And also, those dollars need to come into that type of organization or fiscal sponsorship to ensure that those monies can be utilized to do your work. How do you first figure out where are the fiscal sponsors? My suggestion is talk to funders. So you may find some foundations and you can ask them who are some fiscal sponsors because they will know some reputations and can refer you to people. You can also ask other nonprofits and other people who may be utilizing a fiscal sponsor because they'll have direct experience, most likely. And there are networks of fiscal sponsors. Definitely do your research. I would talk to people to get information. I would also do searches on the internet. And then once you find a couple of fiscal sponsors, look and see who they work with and call some of those organizations so that you can vet the fiscal sponsor to ensure that you get what you need. So then that takes us one step back. What is it that you need? Be clear about what kind of organization you're working to form, what the work will be, who your people are, your tribe. That means the people that you will work with and for to achieve the goal and mission of your organization that you're forming. These will be really important because the fiscal sponsor will ask you to complete a form. Sometimes there's a small fee that you pay in order for them to process the application that you put in. And if they select you, then you can have a fiscal sponsor so that you could begin to collect tax-exempt dollars to do your work. This is really important. This doesn't mean that you get the money and put it in your pocket. This is the money for the work of the organization that you are forming. Under the fiscal sponsor, you'll be that fiscal sponsor's project, but you'll be able to operate with the name of your organization. And there'll be certain things that you need to do to make sure that you align with the fiscal sponsor. So when you think about a fiscal sponsor, what are they doing that's important to you? What kind of groups are they working with that might align with the work that you're doing? Where are they located? What is the process to be selected by that fiscal sponsor? Another important fact is what is the rate that they charge? So there's usually a fiscal sponsorship fee. That's usually somewhere between 5 and 10% of the monies that come in. But remember that they're handling all of your back office work for you as you're getting started. This is a great opportunity for you to focus on the work that you want to do. And it's also a great opportunity for you to work towards getting your own C3. There's plenty of groups that stay with a fiscal sponsor, and then there's some groups who form their C3 and they begin to transition out of the fiscal sponsorship, or they change their relationship with the fiscal sponsor. This will vary from fiscal sponsor to fiscal sponsor. But I really want to suggest that you take the time to be clear about what it is your organization is going to be doing. That way, when you talk to your fiscal sponsor about this idea, about this group that you're forming, you'll be clear. You'll be able to fill out the application. The other thing to think about is even if there's an application fee and your group has no money at this time, there may be ways to get that fee waived. Again, it will vary from fiscal sponsor to fiscal sponsor. But if you're serious about taking your idea and moving it forward to form your own nonprofit, but you want to start with a fiscal sponsor, this is definitely one option that you have. But do your research. It's so important that you know as much about that fiscal sponsor as possible. Call them up and ask questions. Ask them about other fiscal sponsors that they know of that are really good. Once you talk about what you need, they'll also refer you if you're not a good fit for them and they're not a good fit for you. They can refer you to other fiscal sponsors. Just know that it's not too late to start your own nonprofit. Just know what the steps are you need to take to move in that direction. Keep joining us because we'll give more and more information about how to get your nonprofit started in 2023.